All right, so when you start carrying, there are inevitably going to be some things that you notice along the way. And today we're going to talk about three of those things, my top three things that you would never think about until you started carrying. What's up and welcome to the channel. My name is Headshot and thank you guys for joining us for our video today, man. Thank you guys for all the support every single month, every week. It's really awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. So when you start carrying, like I said, there's a lot of things that you got to consider, you know, holsters, gun belts, what I'm going to wear. And then there's going to be things like this that you start to pick up on that are different or weird, or maybe things that you didn't, like or whatever. That's what we're going to be talking about. Not the gun, not the holsters, not the belts and things like that, but other things you'll pick up. So number three, no really significant order or anything like that, but number three is the concealed carry signs. No weapons allowed signs. You will start to see and notice these signs on businesses and restaurants and just various places that you go. Now, I tend to think about this a lot, but I almost see these particular businesses as non-supporter. That's typically what I think of when I see one of those signs. If it's a restaurant or if it's a freaking grocery store or whatever the case may be, I conflate the two. I basically say, okay, well, this company does not support my right to carry. Okay. And, aside from a government building or something like that, where, it's kind of obvious why you shouldn't carry, I see these companies as just being non-supporters of the Second Amendment. And there's actually been a lot of companies like Buffalo Wild Wings that have openly come out and said, we do not support your right to carry a gun, and you cannot come in here with your firearm. Now, I know a lot of people don't pay attention to these signs, and you can use that as at your discretion. I mean, if you're concealed carrying and nobody knows, there are risks associated with that, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you to do that or not to do that. I choose to stay away from those places because most of the time, let's say you have, not trying to support one company or the other, let's say you have a Target and a Walmart. Well, the Target doesn't want you carrying and the Walmart doesn't mind. Well, I'm just going to go to the Walmart. I mean, it's cheaper most of the time anyways, and I'm just going to go over there. So I kind of vote with my wallet every single day, and I used to kind of post these things on Facebook like, hey, this company isn't supporting our rights, so don't support them. And some people had some very good feedback like, hey, if we're being told not to support a company, are we really free at that point? And I get that, but you can vote with your wallet every single day. You can show companies that don't support your rights openly, don't support your rights to carry. You can vote with your wallet every day and choose not to support that company. Now, I've kind of laid off of telling people, hey, don't shop at Dick's. Don't, because people already know. I don't have to say anything about it. Now, of course, I'll share stories and things like that about what's going on, but I don't have to tell anybody. You can make up your own mind and you can come to your own judgment about these companies, but you really start to notice who's for you and who's against you. And there's a lot of places that I've really never gone to, but I especially won't go to now because of that. Number two is an interesting one, politics. Up until about late 2013, 2014, if you asked me what I thought about politics, I would tell you I don't care. It has nothing to do with me, blah, 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 blah. I was one of those people, sorry. But I started carrying, I started buying guns. When we first started this channel, I was having to stand in line at Walmart waiting for a truck to come in so I could buy 3 boxes of 9mm, and that's it. And it was all politically charged. The gun industry at the time was booming. I mean, they couldn't keep guns on the shelves, and it was hard for somebody like me just coming into it. Hey, I can barely find a box of regular Target 9mm ammo to buy. You could find hollow points and things like that all day long, but who the heck wants to shoot 100, 200 rounds of those at a time, So politics, never cared about it until I got into firearms. And as sad as that is, as sad as firearms and how politically charged the firearm industry and all of that is, it is just a reality, and you have to keep up with these things. Since then, obviously, we've been to a rally, and we have this channel. We reach new people every single day on multiple platforms, and we're able to get the information out to you guys. And politics is something that you should probably keep up. We vote, obviously, now because I want to keep those people that support my rights. I want to keep them in office so I can continue to enjoy my rights, because some politicians, and there's a lot of them out there, you hear about it all the time. You hear about it in every school shooting. You hear about it every chance they get. The first thing they talk about is gun control. Without a doubt, they will not let a tragedy go to waste. And as sad as it is, we on the other side of this issue have to stay vigilant and have to vote and have to make sure that we're keeping up and keeping people in office that support our rights. So politics, never cared about it before. Now I keep up with it almost every single day. So that's another thing I didn't think about until I started carrying a gun. And then last but not least, printing. A lot of people are really concerned with printing. And depending on your state, you know, there could be consequences for it. There may not. I don't really think about it a lot anymore. And I think with most people over time, I won't say most people, I'm not going to speak for anybody, but from what I've seen and people that I talk to, printing is really not that big of a deal. They've pretty much got their system down, and your system makes a big difference in really not only your system, but the gun you carry, what you wear, and obviously your system make a huge difference in you printing a little bit, not printing at all, or just straight up having your gun sticking out of your pants and your shirt, you know, I mean, literally seeing the outline of it. Now, there's obviously a line there, but printing in general is not a crime in most states. You know, you look it up in your own state, but printing just in general, and I'll be honest with you, people don't care. When you get your license and you start carrying a gun, you all of a sudden think that eyes from everybody in your local Walmart are right under your belt line. Like all of a sudden your belt line just became the most insane attraction people have ever seen, and they can't wait to just look at it and stare at it like it's some kind of a crazy little thing, and nobody cares. You're still at a Walmart and people are still walking around acting like there's nothing going on. So you don't have to really worry. I mean, if they see like some faint hint of an outline, most people probably think it's your phone, you know? I mean, so it's really not that big of a deal. Now, brandishing, on the other hand, is a crime. You know, you see somebody and, you know, you pull out your gun to make a statement, well then, yeah, you know, you might go to jail for that. Now, people will mention clothing. You know, should I get pants that are a size bigger and shirts that are a size bigger and all this kind of stuff? And I don't dress around my gun. I make my gun work with what I dress with. So, and I actually tried that, and just take it from my experience. Buying pants too big for you at the end of the day are still too big for you. So where you may have a little bit more room for your gun, everything else, you know, looks like you're freaking Eminem from 8 Mile. I mean, really, it doesn't go well. So you don't really have to buy these things bigger. You just have to get used to having a chunk of metal and plastic inside of your waistband. And again, holsters, gun belts, these are things we talk about all the time, make the biggest difference for you carrying comfortably. And we got plenty of videos on these things, links down below and everything. So if you need advice on that, check those out. But printing in general is not a big deal. And like I said, most people don't even know. The only people that you're going to see that may notice anything are other gun people, and they're obviously going to be cool with it too. Printing in general is not a really big deal most of the time. So those are my top 3 things that you never thought about until you started carrying a gun. I want to know what your top 3 are, or any that I missed on the list. Leave them down below in the comments section below. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'll see you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.